Welcome to Light Logic, the podcast that discusses everything you need to know about low voltage lighting. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You're listening to Light Logic.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Light Logic. Today, we'll be doing a tech talk. I'm Chip Boldin with Unique Lighting Systems. I'm in the technical representative, and today I have with me Rick Zinn. Rick?
Good morning, Chip. Thanks for having me. My name is Rick Zinn. I'm a district sales manager for Unique Lighting Systems, handling the Northern California area, and happy to be here today.
Good. So, Rick, today we just wanted to touch on a couple of things that we do at Unique Lighting. I know you do different things out in the field than I do in Riverside, so I'll start with some of the things that we do in support. We're dealing with support from end users, distributors, contractors, and Rick, maybe you can kind of point out what things that we do on a daily basis here.
Well, to start out, I'd say that the biggest thing is we do have that support on a daily basis. Every week I get somebody who says, I had a problem, I didn't know what to do. I called the 800 number, talked to Chip or Dr. Tom. They were very patient. They did everything they could and got us fixed. And they were surprised at the level of customer support they got because it's, I think, the best in the industry.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback what you're saying right there. I think that's one of the things that really differentiates us. The scope and depth of which we can assist, like I said, this wide range of customers, from an end user to a contractor to a distributor, is really head and shoulders above what we see out there in the industry. Some examples of that might just be, very simple technical information from a homeowner, or more advanced in technical stuff with a contractor who's troubleshooting an issue. And then at the distributor level too, how to help them better service their customers. And if I were going to give you an example of something like that, it might be our SmartScape system. We have the capability, both Dr. Tom and myself, of when someone's set up one of these systems with the SmartScape and they're online, we can actually go into their account, look and see how all the equipment is functioning, change programming for them, and just basically, help them. And a lot of times you deal with a very unsophisticated customer who doesn't have the wherewithal to know all those functions in there. So it's just a great tool for us to utilize. And I know, Rick, I've been on some of your contractors' calls saying, hey, can you call this guy? He's stuck, and real quickly, rather than try and talk them, through how to do it, we could just dial in there and do it for them. So that's one of the things, one of the tools I like to use.
Yeah, and I was going to say the world seems to be moving more and more towards everybody wants to use an app for it. Everybody wants to control it with their phone or their computer, or have a more sophisticated system than just, I turn it on and off with a switch, which, in the old days, plug it into the wall to get it to work, or maybe have one of those Christmas tree timers. Now, as things get more technical and people are trying to learn all these different systems, it's a huge benefit to be able to call in and have somebody able to look into that. I use that all the time with either a contractor or a homeowner, to be able to go in, become a manager on their system, and fix them in 2 minutes, where it might have taken a 2-hour trip, and that same 2 minutes, once I got on site to figure it out, we can actually help them a lot more quickly, which is huge, because everybody has an app, everybody has something that they're using, but at the end of the day, it's the support you get, which is probably, I don't know if most people know that are listening, we're actually owned by the Toro company. And that gives us a huge wealth of resources and knowledge from the customer that we're going to be there in 20, 30 years. You won't find out that 2 years from now, we got bought by someone, they changed every policy, they no longer honor this warranty, whatever. We're here for the long term because that's how Toro operates.
Yep. Yeah, so before we leave Smartscape and stuff like that, I'll touch on a couple of common stumbles that we get calls for on that. And that's when a contractor or a homeowner might be setting up. They don't set it up in their email address. It needs to be in the customer's email address. The customer could then make the contractor or a distributor a representative of that account. That's probably the most common call that we get. And it's easy to fix, but it's just, if you start off on the wrong foot where the contractor put it in his email, we have to change some of those parameters around for them so that the customer ends up having control. Another one that we get when we see is, I like to tell people, I go, when you're done with your setup and stuff like that, you've given it a program, make sure it runs that program that evening. And don't start playing with the app until the next day. Just so that the basic setup, it's kind of like a mesh system. So if there's multiple LPCUs on transformers, they're going to talk to each other and they're going to strengthen their signal between each other. So if you try to, oh great, I'm set up, grab the app, start giving it all kinds of commands, you're just moving a lot of data through there. So I say, give it 24 hours, let it build itself. They're very smart. And those are just some of the best tips that I've, can give customers when they're setting them up. Other than that, they're super easy and very reliable.
Yeah, and maybe the biggest tip I think of is don't keep trying over and over and getting frustrated. Get a hold of your local DSM, call the support number. Somebody will help you before you become frustrated, because I've seen people go, I've been playing with this for 2 hours and can't get it working. I haven't checked one thing and they go, oh, and all of a sudden it works. So kind of with the topic being support, don't forget that it's there not only through, a lot of times your distributor can help, your contractor can help, your DSM, and then the 800 number. You've got a lot of resources that you can go to when you need assistance from Unique. So
that's a good point. We'll just throw those contact points out there. There's an email, unique support at uniquelighting.com. That's goes to a queue between Dr. Tom and myself, and you'll get a quick response there. Or you can call the 800 number and get a hold of us there. That's 800-654-1882.
And most of the DSMs, if you email them and they're out of the office, that customer support number is right in our email signature because we trust it. I've seen companies where no one wants to turn them over to customer support because they're scared that they'll screw it up for their customer. We have no problem having get a hold of you and Dr. Tom because you guys actually do a great job. So thank you for that. The kind of, I guess, breaking it down to the different people, for a contractor, like I was saying, they not only get the support of knowing that Toro is behind our products, behind our company, so that we're not going anywhere. We're not that flash in the pan who set up an internet site, sell as much as we can, make as much as we can, and then bail out on the warranty. But we also help with a lot of other things like how to test things. If you're putting it in and it's not working, walking them through the critical three, being able to explain to them how a hub gets wired. Even SDSP will help with the whole overall plan. If they're not sure which fixture they need, what bulb goes in a fixture, all these kind of things that if people call and ask first, it avoids problems later.
Yep, those are all good points. And I think, you touched on one that we kind of glossed over, SDSP. I mean, for those that don't know, we can do plans of an entire landscape, and they are a differentiator. But I think one of the things that our company does really great is when there is a problem, and there's going to be problems. There's nobody who doesn't have problems, but it's how you react to them. I mean, this company is just simply focused, whether it's the distributor or the contractor. We understand you're on a job. You need to get action. Tell us what the issue is, and we are going to choose the path of least resistance to get it corrected for you. Whether that's getting some material sent directly to you or orchestrating so that the distributor will, will get you what you need, and that we will take care of the distributor. This company does that probably better than any.
And I will tell you from personal experience working through you guys with contractors, even end users, you always err on the side of let's get it taken care of for the customer. It's not the Gestapo questioning you about everything. If you guys ask questions, it's merely because you're trying to make sure we have the problem diagnosed correctly, or the solution will fix what's going on. But I do know that you guys have taken care of stuff where I was like, I don't know, it seems a little sketchy, and you go, nope, let's take care of them. So that's another huge deal for people, and not feeling like every time you call in about an issue, and there will be some, like you said, but I believe we handle it better than most companies do.
Well, I know, like we say it amongst ourselves a lot, is going that there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of good products out there. The one thing that we can do better than any other is out-service. And that just, from where I sit, that remains, how I go about doing it.
And from the nuts and bolts kind of part of the warranty, is we kind of talking about that a little bit. Pretty much every one of our LED bulbs is covered by a 5-year warranty. There's a date stamped on them all. And I know you've been lenient when it might have sat in distributor inventory for a little bit. Then you get into our Elements line that has a 10-year warranty on parts and workmanship and all that. Moves to our Elements that has a 15-year warranty. And then our top of the line Odyssey stuff that will have a lifetime guarantee on workmanship, etc. So if you have things break out of the blue, and knuckle breaks, etc., and hopefully you didn't drive a car over it and tell us, oh, it just broke. But and we've probably covered that before, I know. But you know that you're going to have that fixture for life, because our fixtures are made to be able to replace parts if something happens, rather than having to throw it out and put a brand new one in.
Yep, and we try to make this just as seamless as possible. Back in the days, I've been with in this industry for 17 years now, and it used to be where you sent things in for repairs and stuff like that. There was all this downtime in between the two. With everyone with cell phones right now and texting, go send us a picture. Let us evaluate what's going on, and again, we're going to take the path of least resistance and make it whole for you. So those are things that we can do so much faster nowadays, and that's why contacting us, explaining what the issue is that we have, and that's how we go about correcting problems, because we're here to solve problems. We know they're out there.
And for the distributors of ours, when you have a problem, I know you were just saying you used to send everything back in. We don't send much, if anything at all, back in. I think only if we find something really odd that we want to have our team check out and go through our whole process of making sure there wasn't some kind of manufacturing problem. But we ask you to take a picture, write the date on it, and then be able to dispose in the field and get the new part without having to incur wrapping it up, shipping it, etc. Like I said, the only times I can think of is if there's something really odd that we want them to go, let's make sure we don't have a problem.
There's something we want to bring back to take a look at in engineering and see if there's a root cause that's going on, and then we will bring it back. But and in the meantime, you'll get a replacement or something like that sent to you. But yeah, it's only for evaluation purposes. That's a good point.
And if you are somewhere that you're looking for who to contact, our website does include a listing of all the district sales managers, the unique support information. And I've had people call me from other parts of the country, and I don't know how my name came up first because alphabetically I should have been last. But I'm happy to help them. Either I answer their question, I direct them to the local guy, or turn them over to our great team in support. So we try to make it as easy as possible.
That's really good. Hey, before we wrap it up, we'll just touch on, I know you're really excited about the flush mount step lights, and I'm really excited about the stocking of black fixtures. So with that, I think we can call this one a wrap. Everyone have a great day. Rick, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Have a good one.
Did you enjoy this episode of Tech Talk? Let us know. You can find us on all social media platforms at Unique Lighting Systems, or email us at info@uniquelighting.com.